Hello folks, welcome along to A Taste of Country with Lucia Butler. I've got a special artist here beside me. It is T.R. Dallas. Welcome along, T.R.
Thanks very much. It's good to be with you here.
It's great. And I know you're here in London to launch a new album.
Yeah, indeed. I'm back in London one more time. I'm no stranger to London, indeed. I come and go quite often. But I'm here this week, especially for the launch of my brand new album entitled Be My Guest. It's only out a couple of weeks.
Okay, we'll get back to that, TR. But and just to let the listeners know, we have listeners all over the world. So you're a man, you hail from the county Westmeath. From Moat, in fact, isn't it?
That's right. I come from a little village called Mount Temple, just outside of Moat in County Westmeath. One of the most central points of Ireland. Where I was born, there's a stone tower about a mile and a half away from my house, which is supposed to be the centre of Ireland. So that's where I come from. And to all the people all across the world who are listening to me now, I want to say hello to everybody, and to my friends in New York and Boston and Chicago and all those places, and of course right across the UK. I always look forward to meeting them every time we go on tour.
Oh, very good. You're a very popular man. And going back to the singing, tell me, at what age did you start singing?
Well, I was singing at about 12. But I kind of grew up singing because in our house there was 9 in family, and I think nearly everybody took part in music somewhere along the way. But my dad, he played fiddle. My mum was a good singer, and there was music in our house from as long as I can remember. But at a very early age, we would have been doing little charity shows from the local school or the local hall or in the church choir or whatever, so it was part of our lives growing up. Music was there all the time,
I know you have 4 brothers and 4 sisters, haven't you? And I know one of them is one of the guys that you did do a bit of music with there, Tom Allen. Tony, sorry, you're Tom. I get mixed up. Tony Allen, as in Foster and Allen now. But you started off out on the road with him, with a band, didn't you? Yeah, more or less. Tony and I would have been a kind of this, around the one age, only a couple of years between us, and we would have been in the music business, and we would have, played football together and did all that kind of thing. And we started out. One of the first groups I think we would have been together in was a band called the Marylanders. They were just a few local lads, and then we had another band with a few more young fellas from home at the time called the Prairie Boys, and then we branched out. Tony and I got a job with the first show band in 1970 called the Fine Avens, and they were from Castleblaney and County Monaghan. He didn't last long. He only lasted a couple of months. He was only about 16 at the time, and he came home. I stayed on for about a year and a half. I got bad tonsils and I had to have them removed, and then that all happened 1971, 72. When did you become a household name then into the music business, would you say?
Well, really, I suppose, after 72, we had Doc Carroll and a band called the Night Runners. We were together in that. And then in 75, Foster and Allen started, and I went with a group called the Sailors. And we recorded a few songs with them, and then I would join the Mainliners, and that was my first big break, and that was in 1978, I think, You
were still very young then.
Only a kid, yeah. But I went on. The real break came in 1980 when I recorded my first hit record, Who Shot J.R. Ewing. That's
the next. I had this down here, Who Shot J.R. Ewing, and obviously that was a big one for you, wasn't it? One of the big ones.
That was the first. That was the start. That was the first one. That was in the British charts, and that was the one that made me a household name, and that was the reason why I changed my name from Tom Allen to T.R. Dallas, because Dallas being so powerful and so strong, and JR being JR, then they call me TR. So.
And he sadly passed away recently as well, JR Ewing.
He did indeed.
Larry Hagman.
Poor old JR, Larry Hagman, yeah. I have his hat, and he autographed it and all at the time for me. This hat's a token from Larry Hagman. That's going back to, when was it? No, 1981, 81.
Oh, fantastic. You must be very proud of that, TR.
Yeah, of course. And I met him first in London in 1980 when we brought out the song Who Shot JR. He was over here doing something, and he was on with Terry Wogan, and we met up that morning. I wasn't talking to him personally, but I was in his company, and he was quite kind of a shy kind of a man, believe it or not. But Terry Wogan was a big Dallas fan, and Terry played my record every day for about 3 months, and sure, that was fantastic,
That was a great break for you then, was it? Did you go on and do an interview with Terry then?
I forget at the time. I think we did, I forget now, it's so long ago, 1980. And then I went along. I was lucky, I suppose, in life. I think I had 3 records in the Irish charts at the one time. Who Shot JR was the first one, Daddy's Girl, and Hard to Be Humble. And they were, in 1981, I think they were all in the charts at the one time.
I love it. I love Daddy's Girl. I when I was young, I remember that song, because I am a few years younger than you now. Right. Just a few.
I'd say so, all right. Yeah.
But and another one of your big songs is The Story I Tell You Is True.
Well, Lord, that came 30 years later, It's hard to believe it. And, you record great songs and you think there's a great song, this will be popular, or this one will do well and that one will do well. And you never know. We recorded that song, The Story I'll Tell You Is True, just hoping to get a bit of airplay. And after 3 weeks, the phones were hopping. The record distributors were looking for it, and I said, my God, what's going on here? So we had to rush back to the studio and gather up bits and pieces and put out an album, and the rest is history now.
It's fantastic, and I know a lot of the artists out there have recorded it.
It has been recorded, but of course it was recorded by people before me. I mean, my good buddy PJ Murray from County Clare, who's one of Ireland's greatest songsters, had recorded it.
Music man.
Great man and a great songwriter too, as well as a great entertainer, and has his own style indeed, and that's very important. But a girl called Anne-Marie Reardon, she was where I got it first on one of her albums, and she had it out for a couple of years before me. But she would be doing a more folky version, even though she's a fantastic singer. Really is a fantastic singer.
She is. I had the privilege of meeting her actually back at one of the Midwest concerts there in the TF in Castlebar. And Marie is from Cork.
She is, yeah. She's from I think it's Ovens, just outside Cork City. And I met her once or twice since that, but she did a great job on it. But she did a more folky version. We changed it, made an old time waltz out of it, and gave it a little bit of a more of a jizz to it, and it suited my audience. And
you put your own stamp on it.
Oh, that's the word, yeah. And as well as that too, of course, it's a song that so many people can relate to, and every word in it. It was actually, my wife said it to me one day. She said, I was talking about going recording something, and she said, that song there is one that you play a lot, and it's one that you probably suit you because everyone can relate to it. So I went in and recorded the song, and that's it. The rest is history. It's fantastic,
It's fantastic. I've started to write a few songs myself, and if I can take a leaf out of your book, well, I won't be doing too bad.
Well, look it's not so much about how good you are, really. It's how lucky you are. And being in the right place at the right time. If everybody knew what to do, sure, everybody would be millionaires. But I mean, a lot of.
Are you a millionaire now?
I wish. I wish I was. But it's not all about. It's not all about money, really. You have to enjoy what you do too.
Of course, that's one of the most important things.
Yeah, and I do. I enjoy what I do very, very much, and it's great to be out on the road and meeting all the old friends and fans all those years later,
Yeah. Well, just to say now, I know the music is only a secondary thing, really, to you, the love of music. You are indeed, I know you were, if you're still doing it, on the council there back home. You're...
I am. I'm a county councillor. I'm a local councillor in Westmeath County Council. I got the opportunity of doing that back in 99, and lucky enough, I got elected then, and I've been elected twice since that. So this is my third term. What happens next, we don't know, but time will tell. And but I enjoy what I do. I always had a kind of a longing and a liking for helping people if I could. And I suppose it's the way we were reared. When we were young and growing up on a family farm, you were helping people all the time. You wouldn't help the neighbours to do this, that, and the other. You were either catching turf or wheeling turf or cutting corn or tying oats or whatever it was.
You're right.
And we grew up with that. It's like the song "Bringing the Horse to be Shod" and the killing of the pig and going for the water. And we did all that. And you did it for neighbours as well. And as time went on and I got involved in fundraising, I do a lot of fundraising for different charities and that. And I suppose when it came along to the council, I got involved in the council because I had a pub at the time, and in the local town in Moat at Home, and it's back in 1980, and there was a creamery in the town at the time, and there was a very small reservoir bringing the water to the town. and sometimes the water would be turned off at midnight, and it was a bit of a pain in the butt, to say the least. If you had a pub and you were trying to wash glasses at 1 o'clock in the morning, you had no water. So,
or were you able to get rid of the customers in time to wash the glasses? That's what I'm worried about.
No, we'd bring them in and let them wash them. We'd tell them to keep drinking out of the same glass, and we'd be all right. But
there's nothing wrong with that either, is there?
No, as a man said one time, he didn't mind going up, the price going up once it didn't go scarce. But it's the same way. They didn't mind the colour of the glass, or whether it was clean or not. But no, then I said, this is ridiculous, and I got the opportunity of going for the council. And when I got elected, I got on to then Minister for the area, Noel Dempsey, who it was his job about water and sewerage and all that. And I went and I met him, and he said, I don't think we have any money to do this, that and the other. And then I went with Pascal Mooney, who was a good friend of mine, and he knew Noel as well. And I went and met him, and I said, we have to do something about this. The town cannot survive. I mean, hotels and bed and breakfasts and all that. So he looked at the situation, and lo and behold, about 2 years later, we got €8.5 million, and we brought the water from about 15 miles away to the town, and we never looked back since. The town has grown and boomed ever since,
Well, do you know the old saying, you never miss the water till the well runs dry?
And that is a very true saying. But I mean, that's, politics, and, you get involved and you do what you can. And as I always say, you win some and you lose some. And at the end of the day, you're only as good as your last trick.
Absolutely, I agree with that one. And tell me, are you still doing the auctioneering?
Very little now. It's gone very, very quiet. It was very good, though, for a few years. But it's gone kind of quiet now, yeah. We work together, a few of us, and it's a much tighter operation. The money is not available now.
And tell me, any of those lads in the council, were the singers in there? Were you singing along every day? You walk in singing an old tune and all that?
Yeah, but not so much. But some of the parties and that you would sing at them, and sometimes we do. Some of the parishes around about, to be old folks' parties and things like that, and different councillors had said to me, maybe you come, there's an old hoolie tonight, will you sing a song? And if I can, I will.
I'm sure you never refused, if at all possible. Now, getting on to, I believe you sang in the Grand Ole Opry, did you?
Yeah, God, that's a long time ago now. That was back in 1981, 80 or 81, I forget now, it's a long ago. But
81, I think.
I that was a huge experience, and to meet, all the stars. Wembley was one of the big things, though, I think, back here, in the early days, the country festival in Wembley. And that was one of the big highlights of my life.
And it was born there again last year. It was brought back there, revived last year.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's happening this year. I know we have it in the O2 this year. There's a big American one happening, which you actually sang along there with some of them, didn't you? Don Williams and...
Well, yeah, we did a few shows.
Boxcar Willie?
Yeah, I did a few shows. I remember going to see Boxcar Willie in Dublin, and he brought me up on the stage, and that was in the early days. I was after recording one of his songs, The Cold Windy City of Chicago. And since then I've worked with Don Williams and Charlie Pride. Last year we did Ireland with him. And of course, the big thing was I did 3 weeks tour with Johnny Cash. And that was the thrill of a lifetime, yeah.
The Ring of Fire, man.
Absolutely, yeah, and I recorded that song some time back, yeah. One of my heroes.
Well, I tell you, I went to see Charlie Pride there a couple of months ago in the O2. And Charlie Pride, he's a real character, isn't he? A lovely singer and a real character. He still has that character on the stage.
Well, he is, yeah. He's very witty, but he's very nice, you see. And he's kind of knows he'd be even trying to speak the bit of Irish language, Yeah. And he's got the old bit of wit and well, I suppose it's all part of show business. When you get up on stage there and you find that you need to do something to attract the crowd, well, then you'll try and do what you can to do that,
Well, absolutely. Now, getting back to your album, I know you're just about to go on stage there. Be My Guest. I know you have lots of albums there.
Yeah.
This is the latest one, Be My Guest.
Yeah, we've done a few over the years. Yeah, this is my latest album. There's 14 tracks on it. And I call it Be My Guest. It's an old Fats Domino song that we do on stage for some time, but it's very popular. And when you do an album, you're trying to find a name for it and you don't know what to call it. But the fact that I recorded the song, I said, that'll do grand. Everyone, I want them just to come along and be my guest at all the gigs. That. So as I said, there's 14 tracks on it. 3 originals, 2 of them. Track number 1 and number 4 was written by a fella called Mike Fallon from Portumna, County Galway. The last track on it, number 14, is a track called Travelling to Big Tom, and that was written by my buddy PJ Murray. And it's a song that tells the story about 2 guys back home who go to see Big Tom, or have gone to see Big Tom, as often as they could, And there's guys like that who goes out and follows different bands.
Of course.
And PJ thought this was very funny because one of the guys, I won't mention which of them, PJ met him one day and he says, that's a very bad day, I think they promised snow. Well, he says, I don't care whether it's going to snow or not, I'm going to see Big Dom tonight.
Oh, bless him. There you go, you see, a loyal fan. But tell me, TR, you have a website there, trdallas.ie, is it?
TR Dallas, yeah, I think it's .ie, yeah.
But are you on Facebook at all?
No.
No, you're not. If any of the listeners there want to contact you, or they want to buy some of your albums or DVDs, you have 2 DVDs out as well?
We have indeed, yeah. Well, most of our stuff is sold through the main distributors, like Chart Distribution in Dublin or Rim Stewart up in County Tyrone. In Dungannon, and also irishmusic.co.uk.
I was just going to say that one.
Yeah, and there's plus all the record shops, as we say. Any good record shop will have it, and maybe some of the bad ones as well.
No, they'll all have it. There's no bad ones, and you'll have it if ever you're out there, folks, and you want to go along and see. Well, he's the man. Be my guest. I like that. Be my guest. Well, is there anyone you want to say hello to or thank or anything?
Well, I want to say hello to everybody who's out there and listening to the show, and I want to say hello and thanks to everybody on internet radio, because they're doing a brilliant job now, and especially to the boss of Irish Country or IrishMusicRadio.com. I do have to get my head around it because there's so many different internet sites and all this now too. But anyway,
IrishCountryMusicRadio.com. We call it ICMR for short.
Oh yes, ICMR. That's it. Yeah. And to all the people on it, because we've met them all at different functions over the years, and I know that they're really good to me, and I want to really say thanks and appreciate it, because now that the world is so small. No matter where you go in the world, you can tune into it, and it's brilliant,
Well, we're the best internet radio station out there, you know that.
I thought you were the only one.
No, we're the only really top one. No, that's a bit unfair, actually. But no, we like what we do, and Irish Country Music Radio is always there to promote new budding artists as well as the flourishing ones. So there you go.
Well, this is it, and everybody is doing what they can for the business, and we can't get too much of that. We're so lucky in recent years as well to have the like of the Hot Country and these programs who are on Sky. And
Phil Mack, and you have, absolutely. Of course, Ireland West.
Ireland West and Irish TV as well. And this, there's so many of them. But I mean, it's great to have them. And I know for them, I don't know what we'd have done, because they have really given the music a great lift.
Between the TV and the radios and the newspapers as well, of course.
Absolutely. I mean, I have to say, especially here now in England. And here in London, we're so lucky to have the Irish World newspaper, and they've done so much for me over the years. I mean, I received my Lifetime Achievement Award at one of their concerts a few years ago, and Paddy Cowan, I've known them. I remember when it started, and it's great to see Paddy still at the helm and doing the job he's doing. And to everybody in the paper, I was in there just the other day and chatting with them, and they gave me a great write-up in recent weeks, and I want to say thanks again for that too.
And we'll do some pictures now tonight, and we might do a little bit of a review maybe on your album if you talk nice to me.
Yeah. Okay, thanks very much.
Okay, right, Tom is just about to go off on stage here now, and thanks a million, Tom, for doing the interview here with me.
Thank you very much. They're shouting from the main hall.
We can hear all that. Thanks. All right, listeners, bye-bye. I hope you enjoyed that. That was TR Dallas, and you can buy his new album, Be My Guest. Enjoy. Thank you for listening, and he's gone running off out the stage now. God bless you all, and thanks for tuning to A Taste of Country with Lucia Butler and TR Dallas.